What up, fight fans? I'm here with Pinky Schmikey McDaniels. I'm Joey KO, and we're here to talk about some of the things that I noticed about the fight with Amanda Nunes and Juliana Pena. There's a lot of things that I noticed, especially in this last two fights, and I think it's real interesting because they say that there are no fights for Amanda Nunes before the last fight too. But I think now this opens the door for a possible third fight and a fight with Valentina. What you think
absolutely.
about that?
Oh, no, absolutely. That would definitely be, actually can bring up an article that definitely references that. Written by Farah Hannon and Ken Hathaway. They wrote this. Dana White apparently said Valentina Shevchenko makes way more sense for Amanda Nunes than Chris Cyborg. So it's interesting enough that he's mentioning Chris Cyborg, right?
He's not a fan of Chris Cyborg, so
Right.
And I don't like any of you.
yeah, and I agree. But I also think that there's another fight that you can make because the things that I noticed in these two fights, like, yes, she lost the first fight with Juliana Pena, but the toughness that Juliana has, no other girl could put up with, getting knocked down multiple times like that. She almost got finished, and she still almost pulled off a submission.
She got the heart of a champion, for sure.
Yeah, and the damage that she did. I mean, Amanda looked like shit after the fight.
She fought a couple beasts.
Yo, she looked like she came out of a car accident.
Nah, she went into a beehive.
She had crutches. She had a wheelchair.
Yeah.
She lost the eye. Her face looked... No, but let's be honest. She won the fight, clearly.
Yeah.
But after the fight, who looked like the winner? Juliana looked fresher. She was smiling after the fight.
She had that lumpy dude, too.
Of course she did. She got her ass whooped for 5 rounds. Got dropped multiple times.
You've never really seen Nunes look that damaged after a win. That was probably
after a dominant performance. Yeah. And still, Juliana almost pulled off a submission. So, in a third fight, I mean, if anybody could beat her in the fight next, right now, it's Juliana Pena. She has no
stand up. She could grapple.
She could punch hard. She has punching power. Clearly,
obviously, she showed it.
She knocked that. Right. I mean, she knocked Tassili the first fight, and she put some damage on her in this fight.
Yeah,
those are punches. He landed good shots on.
And I know they're memeing her right now. They're making fun of her. I know that exchange where she threw a bunch of punches in a row and she missed, and she got dropped right after. That happens when you find one of the greatest of all time.
She got dropped like...
No, I'm saying that one particular one.
Like, Amanda is a beast.
No, Amanda's a beast. But look,
I think she could lose a third fight. I think it's possible.
But we can also see what Dana White is coming. Because it don't matter what we think if the press completely disagrees with us.
Absolutely. I'm the boss.
I'm happy that he mentioned Cyborg, right? Because... maybe he is trying in some way to extend an olive branch to Cyborg. Because as you read here, although he says it plainly, Amanda absolutely dominated Cyborg. Amanda told MMA Junkie and other reporters after Dana White's Contender Series 58 on Tuesday. The Shevchenko fight makes way more sense, and I'm not shitting on Cyborg because we've had history. To be honest with you, I usually don't talk about this shit publicly. You know what I always say. I don't tell you guys anything. But she actually texted me and wished me a happy birthday for my birthday. It's not like Cyborg and I hate each other, and I'm not trying to discredit her or be mean to her. I wish her the best in whatever she's doing. It was nice of her to send me a birthday text, so I just wanted to reiterate that I am not shitting on Cyborg. So that's good, because that would be another great option if that would potentially be possible for her to fight Cyborg. And no,
I think that's the third option.
She's a part of Bellator. And the UFC is never going to give the credibility to Bellator to even garner that event. Bellator hasn't even earned that. They're clear number 2. It's not like they've garnered a point where some people are saying, Bellator is better. If you think that, you're insane.
No, but that's besides the point. The point you got to look at is that
not besides the point.
There are Bellator fighters right now that have come to the UFC and become champions. They're in the UFC. They're in the mix. Chandler's in the mix, right? And you've also seen guys, even legends, from the UFC go to Bellator. So there is a distinction that we've seen in the past where fighters go to Bellator and Bellator fighters end up in the UFC.
Right.
This is not something new. You can still make a fight with Amanda Nunes and Cyborg because Cyborg is not going to be in Bellator forever. It's not like she can't be bought out of her contract.
I'm talking about
the UFC has that type of money. They can buy her off a contract and bring her back to the UFC and make a big fight. But that's the last option. And Chris Cyborg might be done with her contract. How's her contract looking? And even if she's towards the end of her contract,
she's
Dana White will buy her out,
right?
Yeah.
Actually, that's.
I don't think Dana White will buy her out of a contract if it meant to do a big fight. She still hasn't lost since the Amanda fight. She hasn't lost to nobody.
When's the last time?
And done well. And she's fighting good competition over there at Bellator. She's not fighting bums. Chris Cyborg is not a far-fetched fight.
Her last loss, and she's been on a winning streak. So
she got even more wins than I thought. She got 6 wins in a row.
It's insane what she's doing.
And she's not fighting bums.
So it was actually 2018. December of 2018. December makes it 4 years. So how long was that Bellator contract? Okay, February 16, 20. Chris Cyborg reveals she has 1 or 2 more fights left on Bellator's contract. I think that just gave us the complete context of why Dana White's even mentioning. That's why I found that it was interesting that he even mentioned Cyborg, and this is the reason why. Because she's 1 or 2, she don't even know. So if it's 1, right? She got 1 more fight, and then she could fight Amanda Nunes in the rematch, and that would be the biggest female fight in MMA by a landslide if she comes over. Because I would argue that if the fight goes 5 rounds, Chris Cyborg might be the favorite. For me, in my opinion, if it goes 5 rounds, I think that's where Chris Cyborg could win because the fight ended in like a flash because Chris Cyborg didn't really respect Amanda Nunes the way we all thought she should have because Amanda got pop. She got power, you know what I'm saying? So she didn't even care.
It's just interesting because here you have someone who's completely dominating the sport. There's no fights for her, and then all of a sudden she loses, and now there's 3 big fights that could potentially happen in the future for her. If she wins them all, she's gonna be probably the GOAT. I think man or woman, you gotta give her a GOAT status after that.
Who? Man, what you mean? She is the GOAT already. To me, she's the GOAT already. But yeah, to your point, if Chris Cyborg is able to avenge it, then it's a trilogy.
Something like that.
It'd be crazy if a trilogy comes out of that one, right? It's possible. But you was talking about an immediate rematch with Juliana Pena.
So I think that's the fight that I want to see.
That's your number 1 fight.
That's the fight that makes the most sense. I think that after watching these 2 fights, you should want to do a 3rd fight. Classic 2 fights. Why not do a trilogy?
Shevchenko is my number 1 fight. If they could come up, and Dana White has brought up her name as well, that they could actually see that fight happening more than
Dana White might want to see that fight more because it brings the most money.
I could only imagine the promotion of that fight. The hype will be crazy because, Shevchenko's on a different level. She wasn't a champion at that point, even though we all knew she was like a beast. And we all knew she was going to be a champion the moment they announced the 125-pound division. And ever since she went down there, she's been more dominant than Amanda Nunes even. And that, that's like comparing the best to the best. So
she even beat Juliana Pena since being down there.
She beat Juliana Pena, you're right.
At 125, she submitted her. And then she went up and beat Amanda Nunes. So
wow,
it makes a lot of sense right now. There's really no...
The dots are there. The dots are there. It does make sense.
Even though there's some up-and-coming girls that's looking good.
I love that you mentioned that.
None of them is really bringing that type of attention where the public feels that they have a chance on winning.
But what about Caitlin Vera? As she says right here,
Vera is a very good fighter.
Wants to become the female version of Jose Aldo.
Oh, I love it.
UFC title win. You know what I'm saying?
But nobody believes her. As much as...
You don't believe her.
No, but we got to be honest.
Well, you just mentioned Juliana Pena. That was a straight upset.
Juliana Pena, first of all, has been in the UFC in big fights
it's still an upset.
longer. It is
No,
an
you're
upset.
right. But she just beat Misha Tate and Holly Holm. I know they're on the latter parts of their career, but she just beat two experienced
Those are solid
former
wins.
champions. So she's like, she's proven herself.
I know, but that's not a mega fight. As good as she is, it's not a mega fight. It's a risky fight, so why not do
Not
Valentina?
everything has to be a mega fight. All she needs to fight is the next contender.
Well, if you're Dana White,
next contender.
the UFC, you're gonna take the path of least resistance, right? So that's the path.
No, wrong.
To the
The
least
UFC
resistance.
don't think like that. They put Ronda Rousey after a huge layoff against the very woman that is the GOAT right now, Amanda Nunes.
You're not gonna put a Vera fight over a Valentina fight.
Oh, heck no.
All right, then. She's not the number one contender right now. Well, she's like the 3 or 4 number contender right now.
Number 3.
Number 3? Oh, she's a solid 3, but she's not going to get the title right now. I mean, she has a chance. I think there's a good chance she gets a fight. But she's like the 3rd or 4th option.
Oh, Holly Holm is right behind her? Because Holly Holm beat Aldana. But Aldana just came off a win. You got Raquel Pennington, Yana Kudinskaya, Aspen Ladd. This is not a problem with the fact that Amanda Nunes has been dominant, but at the same time, it is. Because she's so dominant, she's eliminating so many contenders. And the only people that are available are people she's already beat or prospects. People who have never fought for titles. So that's why she's so dominant, because she's beating all her contemporaries plus the future. But with all that on her back, that's why she lost to Juliana Pena the first time. So,
yeah, and she beat all the names, and she's going to start beating them multiple times. She's coming around the block like Usman. So it's more like, I see that it's either going to be Valentina or Pena, and then they're probably going to go after Cyborg to do a rematch. Because
I like that. I like that little trajectory. Oh, yeah. That's pound for pound number 1 and 2 if they do the Shevchenko. But Cyborg, to a lot of people, that would be 1 and 2. Right? So either way. And Juliana Pena, in a way, will be 1 and 2. So she's fighting the creme de la creme, and this is something that you got to give her credit for. Amanda Nunes is trying to separate herself in the history books. Ronda Rousey couldn't do that. Ronda Rousey did what she did, and she's always going to be the pioneer. She's always going to be the Royce Gracie of female MMA. Always, forever, no matter how you feel about Ronda Rousey. That is her legacy. However, Amanda Nunes' legacy will be that not only did she beat Ronda Rousey, she became the future. She fucking set the future in motion.
She's the GOAT.
I don't like that. That sounds weird.
That's weird. That's weird.
She's the GOAT. That's it. She's the GOAT. We know who we talk. We talking about women. We know who we talking about. They're GOATs. When I say she's a 135-pound champion, I don't gotta say a woman.
She's on pace to, I think, being the GOAT of all times, like surpassing even John Jones and Anderson Silva. She has that potential. You don't think she has that potential?
No.
But we gotta shut the fuck up.
Or I'm the one that edits it. So
tell us what you think. Give us your opinion. Who is there? Somebody else that we missing that she could fight? Let us know. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Peace.